did you decide that you're going to build your business through community and through sphere of influence, or did you kind of expand out and do your business a little bit differently?
Well, kind of yes and no. Like back in '98, things were different back then. We had the internet, but we still had the big MLS books. And I still remember the first day I walked in Knowles Realty after I got my license. I walked in, you know, you pass the test, you're licensed, right? So I walk in and Mossy said, okay, go sell something. Okay, what do I do? How do I sell? You know, you're licensed, but you don't know what to do. You have this license. And so at this time, I don't even know if they still have them. They had what's called the crisscross, the big books that you could, I sat down at the table, and I lived in the Eastmore area at that time. And she said, work your neighborhood where you live. And at that time, you could cold call anybody where you can't now, but that time you could. So, you know, she gave me a script to read, and I did. And, you know, she said, never ask for the direct sale. Never say, hey, do you want to sell your house? Because they're going to tell you no. Never ask, you know. So she had the script for me to read. And so the one guy I called, I said, you know, I have a buyer looking. Do you know anybody in the area? And he said, well, I don't know about anybody else, but I want to sell my house. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he's like, yeah, you can come on over. So it was pretty quick. And then I started holding open houses and everything. And of course, back in the day, I knocked on every door in the neighborhood still, you know. You knock on a door and the next thing you know, you're sitting down at someone's table eating pie, you know, and that's how a deal happens. And that's what I did. I knocked on lots of doors. I called out the crisscross, and that's how I started my, you know, sphere, as you would put it. And then over the years, as you make your sales, they go into your contact list. And then, you know, you send them the birthday cards and the Christmas cards and the calendars and the, you know, and it just builds from there. So that's really how I started.
You know, I would say real estate's simple but hard, right? You know, it's simple in what we need to be doing every single day, which is just having real estate conversations. It's simple in what you just explained, because it always comes down to people need to know you, like you, trust you, right? And, you know, as a real estate agent, you want to figure out, how do I want to make that happen? And there's so many different ways to make that happen. You could door knock, you could do open houses, right? You could call out of a phone book if you wanted to. You could do internet leads, you could do social media in today's world. But, you know, if you're struggling within your business, it always comes down to, do they know me? How do I get them to like me? And then how do I get them to trust me when it comes to their real estate needs? And the third part, the trust, obviously just takes time, or it takes you understanding and being highly educated on real estate, or in your case, right, it may be the Bexley area. I'm the local expert, right? You know, I know the houses, I know the streets, I know the difference between over here versus over there. So I love that you just explained that, because, you know, to me, it doesn't matter how it happens, which is why I love bringing, you know, guests like you on. You know, you built your business completely 100%, 180 opposite of how I built my business, right? In some regards. So I love that, because it doesn't matter what it is. It still comes down to those principles.
It really does. It really does. You treat people right, and people know when you're fake. You know, I have so many people saying, oh gosh, I think I'd, you know, because I think all these shows make it so glamorous, you know, oh, HGTV, let's, you know, it's not all glamour. But you have to just be real. You have to be yourself. You have to be honest. And I think when people come to me and say, I want to be a realtor because they think we make all this money, they think we, you know, if you're getting into real estate for that reason, don't do it, because you're not going to make it. You have to truly want to help people buy and sell houses.